Valentine's Day, and we're coming to you from a very, very special place where there's so much love in the air, one cannot contain it at all. We're coming to you from the Mdzananda Animal Clinic in Khayelitsha. And to talk to us about the beauties that are waiting here for someone to come fetch and love them is Marcel du Plessis, the fundraising and communications manager of this wonderful clinic. Marcel, thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you.
Talk to us first of all about Mdzananda. What is it?
So Mdzananda is a non-profit veterinary clinic in the heart of Khayelitsha, and we're 25 years old this year. So we basically can help any little animal. We've got consulting rooms, a hospital, a theatre, mobile clinics, ambulance, and then we also have a little shelter with all these little doggies that are waiting for adoption, and we do a lot of educational outreach with people to help them become the best pet owners they can be.
And you're also running a program at this stage, a Valentine's program. You're asking people to donate. What are you asking of them?
So basically we're saying, if you don't have a Valentine, or even if you do, take on another little bachelor or bachelorette from our shelter and decide to sponsor them instead of buying flowers or chocolates. And you can pick your little guy that you want to sponsor, and then you can either, for example, give 50 Rand to clean off all their fleas and ticks, or 500 Rand to help them get a sterilization. There are various sponsor options.
But your main aim is to find a home for the animals that you have in the shelter part of your clinic.
Yes, absolutely. We've got so many animals that need homes, and they've never had a Valentine's Day with a family, so you can give them a little bit of love and a home.
Why would you recommend to people to choose a shelter dog instead of buying, an expensive dog with a pedigree and all of that?
So the unfortunate thing is that a lot of these dogs are bred in backyards. There's no registrations. Unfortunately, sometimes the mommies are bred, and then they're not always in good condition or live in bad conditions. And very often they also go to homes where people cannot actually look after them. So they just end up right back at a shelter where we have all these beautiful little animals. Most of them have had a home, they're really socialized, so they really fit into a family so well already.
We've seen all the dogs that you have at the shelter. They are all very, very friendly. So what does one do if one wants to adopt from your organization?
So you can get in touch with us either via email or give us a call, and then we do an adoption consultation with you just to find out what home you have. He very much wants to go home with you right now. So after the conversation we will do a short home check just to see is your home suitable for that specific pet, and then they can go home with you. Like Bruno.
It's a difficult time, COVID-19. What impact has it had on an operation like this?
So what we've seen a lot of is that unfortunately individual donors who make monthly donations have not been able to do that anymore. So we've had a drop-off of monthly donors and more animals as people lose jobs or they just cannot care for their animals anymore.
And if people come to you, obviously this is an impoverished area, but we've seen a lot of love from people who brought their animals to you. What is the situation like in Khayelitsha in terms of pet owners and caring for their animals?
Well, there's a huge amount of animals. We estimate about 300,000 animals in Khayelitsha alone. And a lot of people still lack education, and neglect usually comes from a lack of education. But in general, the animal care is becoming better and better and better. And we're seeing people who love their animals, some even sleeping in the beds. Real love is happening. So unfortunately, there will always be bad apples, but we can see a change, and that gives great hope.
And how does it work when somebody brings in their pet?
So the first thing that will happen is they go to our consulting rooms. There they will have their initial checkup and see what is wrong. Some can go home just with some medication, others need to go to our hospital, and there they can stay up to 3 months sometimes, just depending on what's wrong. We do operations, so every animal is sterilized that comes to us, and then once they are ready to go home, they get discharged with information when they need to come back and all that type of things.
Marcel, just to introduce us to the beauty that you have behind you, what is his name?
This is little Bruno, and at the moment he's not looking at you, but he has the most beautiful teeth in the world. They stick out in all directions, and we're not quite sure how old Bruno is. We think about 5 or 6 years old, and he's just the sweetest little guy. He just wants to be on you and love you, and yeah, he's a real darling.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That's Marcelle Duplessis, the fundraising and communications manager here at Mdzananda Animal Clinic in Khayelitsha. You heard it from her. If you don't have love in your life, this is the place to come to find that love. All of these animals here are waiting for someone to adopt them, to look after them, and to give all the love that they have themselves to share. So on this Valentine's Day, like Marcelle said, if you don't have a Valentine, and even if you do, donate to this organization. There are many other NGOs that are in similar positions that also needs help. But here in Mdzananda, you can also come adopt one of these beautiful animals here. Like she said, Bruno, with the lovely teeth there, is just waiting for someone to come fetch him and give him all the love that he's ever wanted in the world.